And welcome back to the show. The Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation will be holding the first in-person 5K at Yankee Stadium in more than 3 years. Now, the Runyon 5K has attracted thousands of participants from all over the five boroughs of New York City, from cancer survivors and their friends, as well as family members, even down to baseball fans and runners. And joining us now to share more about the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation's Director of Communications and Marketing, Meghan McCurdy, and then we've got researcher Dr. Natasha O'Brown. And thank you both for joining us. And Meghan, I'll start with you. This is the first time having the run in a few years. And so what's the anticipation like, given the fact that you'll be able to do this in person and you haven't done it in a while?
Yeah, we're really excited. So as anyone who's participated in the event in the decade plus that we've been holding it knows, it's a really, really fun and unique 5K that uses Yankee Stadium as its course. And though it's been great to have the virtual support the past 2 years, it doesn't hold a candle to the event in person. So not only are we super excited to be back together at Yankee Stadium again, this is the first time the Runyon 5K has been held as an after-work event in the evening, which is going to give us a chance to create like a really fun celebratory atmosphere under the baseball stadium lights. So we hope you'll come, bring your friends, bring your coworkers, do one of the most unique 5Ks out there, and then join us for a party afterwards.
And Dr. Natasha, proceeds go to help in the area of research. Talk to me a little bit about this research for a moment and the focus of it. What exactly are you researching?
Yeah, so I actually researched the blood-brain barrier. You can think of it kind of like the bouncer for the brain, making sure that everything that gets in is what you want in and actually keeping the riffraff out. While that's usually good for your brain and it helps protect it, it's also a huge problem when you're trying to get chemotherapeutics into the brain. And so for my research is specifically trying to figure out how you can tweak it like a little knob to let better drugs in, specifically to treat brain tumors for Damon Runyon.
And Meghan, I talked about money being raised. Give me an ideas about how much money you've raised in past years.
Sure. So the event has raised over $6 million since it started. And another thing that we like to highlight about this event is 100% of those proceeds go directly to researchers like Natasha. So there's no money going to the overhead. The money that you raise for the event, every single dollar is going to cancer research. So it really is a great way to make an impact while participating in a fun event like this.
And Natasha, for somebody on the outside who may not be so familiar, this work does go to help the research for cancer, but can you give us a little bit more about the research itself and how exactly that works out?
Yeah, so I mean, this money, I can not say enough good things about Damon Runyon. Their support has meant everything to me. They've supported me for 4 years of doing my postdoc, and then the Dale Fry Award that I got also continues it to transition. But this money goes towards me as a person. So it's not focused necessarily on a project. It's much more focused on giving me the freedom to really explore and see where the creativity takes us. And so I personally use these small transparent zebrafish which you can literally have these little embryos swimming around in a dish, but they have the same genes as you and I. So actually understanding how these things work in a fish, in a model system, we can then apply them to human patients. But because it's not necessarily the project, I get to follow these little trails wherever they lead me. And I think that power is incredibly important as a researcher.
So Meghan, let's talk about people who want to participate because it's for a good cause. It's right here in the borough of the Bronx. And I know a lot of people have an interest in running and participating. So for somebody who may say, this is something I want to participate in, how do they do that?
Absolutely. Go to runyon5k.org. You'll find all the details that you may need about event timing, registration. You can sign up right there. And once you sign up, we'll send you more information by email. We'll send you some training tips. We'll give you some tips on how to fundraise from your friends and loved ones. And we'd love to have you there on the day.
Now, Dr. Natasha, I understand that you do research, but I also understand that you'll be running. So talk to me about that. Why do you feel important that not just doing the research component, but actually participating as a runner yourself?
Yeah, well, so I will be the first one to say that I am not a runner. My husband is the runner in the family.
Okay.
But I am doing it to get involved, right? So I really appreciate that people are willing to get involved and give us money to do the research. And I think it's really important for scientists to talk to the people who are helping fund their science. So I look forward to just talking to everybody who's out there and saying thank you for giving us the support that you've given us.
And Megan, this is also special to you, I know, and near and dear to your heart. Talk about the importance of why you feel that this is so important and why it is so near and dear to you.
Sure, absolutely. I think one of the reasons why this event is so key is it is one of the best opportunities that donors to Damon Runyon can meet scientists like Natasha. They get the chance to actually meet the scientists who are making the incredible breakthroughs that have an impact on cancer patients' lives. And we know that that's meaningful for both the donors and the scientists. It's one of the few times throughout the year that we're able to bring our scientists and our supporters together. And we hear from both sides that it is really inspirational. It means a lot.
Yeah. And Natasha, talk to me about yourself, because what does it mean for you also being a recipient for this research, but then also, the foundation itself?
Yeah, so I think for me, it's honestly that amount of freedom and faith that they put behind you. Like I said, I've been funded by them for a while now. And so it's nice to actually be able to go. So I'm actually located in Boston, so I'm making the trek down to New York for the 5K,
All right.
specifically so I can get involved. And I'm actually bringing my whole family, so they'll all
Wow.
be there
Okay.
watching and cheering us on. And yeah, I really just having that support behind you. I've done one event, a fundraising event for Damon Runyon more locally here, and being able to talk to people about my science and just answer some questions and having them be like, oh, this is what a scientist looks like. I mean, you can see me.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily like the white male stereotype, which I think is also good to have some representation of other people that are there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Megan, for yourself, I know that you participate and get this going, but
Mhm.
the work goes beyond this. Give me a little bit about what goes on throughout the course of the year. I know this is one of the highlights, right? But there's so much more that goes on.
Sure. So the Damon Runyon Cancer Foundation, our mission is to support scientists like Natasha. Like Natasha said, we don't support institutions. We don't focus on a particular type of cancer or a particular research approach. We support individuals and we give them the resources that they need to follow their bravest and boldest ideas. And we found that it works. Since our founding in 1946, we've invested over 420 million in nearly 4,000 scientists. 13 of those scientists have gone on to win Nobel Prizes. And Damon Runyon scientists have made countless discoveries that have completely transformed cancer treatment. They discovered the first chemotherapy and radiation treatments for solid tumors way back shortly after our founding, all the way to the breakthrough first generations of immunotherapies and other personalized treatments that today are used to shrink cancers and in some cases eliminate them entirely. Our scientists have made incredible contributions to screening and diagnostic tools that let us diagnose cancer earlier and more accurately. And they've made great strides towards understanding the genetic drivers and underlying causes of cancer that let doctors have a much better idea of their patients' personal risk profiles. And hopefully, those scientists can continue to go on and pursue avenues of research that may allow us to prevent cancer cases entirely in some patients.
Natasha, I know you've been doing the work for a minute, but give us a little insight as far as your work in research. We've seen a lot of progress that's been made in the area of cancer research. Give us your insight on some of the progress that you've seen down through the years.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm focused primarily on the brain, but I think there's been a lot of advances. And as Megan mentioned, this immunotherapy, which is very personalized. I think I come from a very genetics background. And so every cancer is actually not really just one cancer type. It's a lot of these different mutations or changes in the DNA. So even though there are these 2 cells or 3 cells or 4 cells that are all next to each other and part of the tumor, a lot of them can be very different. And so unfortunately, these chemotherapeutics kind of tried to kill most of these cells, but then they have, relapses and little metastases and stuff. And I think recently, one of the strongest advances has been making these personalized targeted treatments for a particular tumor that's in your body. I think that has had great strengths and had a lot of higher survival rates than we've ever seen before, because we've been able to compile kind of different avenues of research like genetics and chemotherapeutics and chemical design. All of that's going into the same kind of principle and towards a similar goal. And I think this interdisciplinary study and kind of allowing that creativity has really allowed a whole new avenues of treatments to come out.
So Megan, before we go, let's get viewers an opportunity one more time. If they want to participate in the run, get connected, let's tell them how they can do that.
Absolutely. So go to runyon5k.org. That's RUNYON 5k.org. And sign up today. We can't wait to see you there on September 29th.
September 29th is going to be, and it's going to be at 6:30. I want to make sure that if you have an opportunity to sign up, please go ahead and sign up. And Dr. Natasha, I want to thank you. It's been great having you. Also, Megan, thank you so much for the work that you continue to do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you. Well, we want to let you know that if you want more information now, don't hesitate to reach out. As we said, there's information that you can get that's easily accessible. You can go to the website, damonrunyon.org, and also runyon5k.org. We encourage you to don't go anywhere. We do have more show coming up. Open continues right after this.